So Unique, what made you create Mecca Audio?
Oh man, because I grew up back in the 70s. I'm talking about with the Ecstasy Garage, T Connection, Stardust Ballroom, Authors Roundtable, Savoy Manor, Cotton Club that all y'all know about. So let's not. I gotta give all the spots a good shout out. Let's not forget Harlem World, Celebrity Club. You know what I mean? Right. You had DJs back then, and DJs owned everything. They owned the equipment. So it was Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, Grand Wizard Theodore and, such and such. But once music came in, big shout out to Sugar Hill, Leland Robinson. Once Sylvia Robinson came out and she put out the Rapper's Delight, they did away with the DJ. So they just started grabbing the rappers.
Where he used to be in the forefront.
Where the rappers was the forefront.
Yeah,
but they did away.
And the DJ went to the background.
No, the DJs went out. They got isolated. You know what I mean? Period. We know Flash stayed in, and that's what made him who he is. But I'm saying all the young guys that was coming up, the rappers, they all had DJs. Yep. You know what I mean? But you don't know the DJs' names no more. The DJs was I salute, because don't forget, we had Star Child, rest in peace, yep. Love Bug, rest in peace. Yep. You understand? Yep. Big shout out to Kid Capri, yep. Doo Wop, Double J. You know what I mean? My man Boogie Black came after that. But,
Bootsie B.
Can't forget the world famous. You know what I mean? 49th Street finest. So I got to give my man T-Rod, Booth, Gusto, Ernie, Mo Grime. You know what I mean? Got to give everybody a shout out. Todd One, you know what I mean? EJ, stick 'em up, but that's the hood, you know what I mean? And we look out for each other and we carry each other where we go. Like I said, that's why my little brother here, you know what I mean? AKA my big brother. This is Big Bootsie. Cause I know I kept saying Bootsie before, cause that's what I call him, you know what I mean? Bootsie, but this is Big Bootsie. This is my Bootsie. So when I say Bootsie earlier, I'm talking about my brother right here, because, we go, man. Where I go, my family go. That's the way Harlem do. You know what I mean? So, just like Cavario set this up, because where he go, he gonna take me and vice versa. That's how we do it. But when the DJing came out, they isolated the DJs. You know what I mean? And it all became about the rappers. So now we got Star Child, Love Bug, you know what I mean? Without a home, you know what I mean? Because the rappers done moved on without them, and people used to come get on their mics and all that. Big shout out to Busy B, you know what I mean? From the L Brothers, we can't forget Busy. Yep. You know what I mean?
Ron G.
Ron G, my little brother, love him to death. Make sure y'all follow what DJ Ron G, wherever he at. That's my brother. That's right. DJ Ron G. Right there. He made the beat to the Mecca Audio chant when I was locked up. Looked out for me. Him and Sadat X, Will Porter, Kiss Major, Susan Feinberg played a part in that. Tamika played a part in that. But the same way I'm mentioning all my peoples, the DJs got pushed out because the rappers allowed the big entities to come in and tell them why break bread with them when we could do it by ourselves. So I opened up Mecca Audio to give the DJs a home. Because remember, we didn't have flash drives and all that crazy stuff that they got going on now. You actually had records and you had dudes that carried the crates. My man Mike Spot, let's not forget him. Used to carry the crates for Brucey B at the rooftop. Yep. You know what I mean? So I opened that up so that they could have somewhere for them to go. You know what I mean? You got to have somewhere for the DJs, because, man, DJs make me feel good. You know what I mean? Right. You know, they say music calms the savage beast.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So, it is what it is, man. So when I open up Mecca Audio, we open it up as a record store, studio upstairs. You know what I mean? We're selling the fire weed. We had Brand Nubian used to come through there. The Mott's is what we used to call it, because it looked like the applesauce, the Mott's applesauce. So we got Nice and Smooth, Grand Poobah, you know what I mean? Lily from SWV, you know what I mean? Tupac, you know what I mean? Everybody came through Club 2000, man. Mecca Audio, and then we're going to get into Club 2000. But now that you know who my brother is, so you see where we at. Even though I had that was a front. Everything we did back then was a front. Just keeping it 100. I already served my 26 years, had my life plus 24. Mecca Audio was a weed spot. I ain't sell no coke out of Mecca Audio. That was a weed spot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I said, because I don't put everybody in my business, and I never offered anybody any drugs. You know what I mean? To sell. If a dude want to sell drugs and he come to me by all day, I'm going to flood him. But I'm not gonna go to a dude and say, yo, I want you to sell this key for me. Oh, you could get some money with me to the drugs. Nah, I didn't need all that. You know what I mean? But if a brother came to me, it's what it is. And you had dudes, you had dudes that sat on the corner. I got a wide body BMW. You know what I mean? Car cost me $40,000. You know, I put like $80,000, $90,000 into the kit. The rims alone cost $32,000 for the rims and tires.
Exact car that appeared in the
Paid in
scene
full.
in Paid in Full. That was your car. That car that Dame Dash was riding with, rest in peace, Baba Lob, Biggs' younger brother.
Yeah, that one was my brother Age.
Oh.
That was Age. Big shout out to Age. Got to get brother Age. You know what I mean? He got a boat where he doing boat rides now, doing real good. Big shout out to Age. But, you know, I was the first one
exactly
with one
like
of them.
your car.
Yeah. No, it is, because it was the same thing, but mine was green and white.
Yep, I
he
remember.
made his black and white.
You have the green piping, white interior.
Exactly.
Yep.
I got mine done up at Angelo, you know,
Same
up
thing
on,
you did with the
on Laconia.
with the Z, with the Z.
Exactly.
I used to call it the Newport Z.
That's what everybody called it. But, you know, Angelo testified against me at my trial. You know what I mean? Oh, man, that's who wound up getting away with the Stutz Bearcat that I was telling you about the other night. He testified to get my $500,000 car. The Stutz Bearcat is the same car they got in the DMX movie Never Die Alone.
That's right.
You know what I mean? They only made 5 of those a year, and I was blessed to own one. You know what I mean? So you see the level I was doing it on. That's why I'm letting the youth know that it wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? After all that, they took me away from my kids for 26 years. I went in, my daughter was 18 months. I come home, she's 27, 28.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
You know what I mean? So if anybody think it's worth it or that I'm glamorizing this, y'all watching the wrong program and getting the wrong message. But I'm just letting you know what it is, because this is a part of history and this is my legacy. But Mecca Audio, we doing our thing at Mecca Audio. We had the weed spot and all that. And my brother Bootsie came at me because, like I said, dudes see you driving with the car and they say, oh, why he put the BBSs on it? The rims are too wide. And dudes hate on the sideline, you know what I mean? Instead of coming to congratulate. But this brother here, he from a whole nother cloth. He from the cloth that I'm cut from. So he pushed up on me. Tell him how we met, family, how you came to me.
Well, one of my homies at the time was rolling with you. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I used to see you fly through in these pretty cars and all that. I'm like, yo, who's this dude right here? Like, so when I get my homie, I tell him to come uptown, come holler at me on the block. He came to the block. And I'm like, yo, who that guy that you be with riding in the cars? Or y'all be riding up and down, be seeing him at Rucker? He was like, that's my boy Unique. I said, yo, and can you introduce me to him? He was like, yeah, come down the hill at a certain time. So I come down the hill, get down to Mecca Audio. You wasn't there at the time. Mm-hmm. But so I'm waiting around. Once he finally came, my homie introduced me to you. And he was like, yo, so what you got going on? And I explained to him what I got going on my block, the spots that what I got. And he was like, all right, I'll look out for you. I'm like, all right, cool. The rest was history. He started looking out for me. I was making sure I paid that money on time. He was making sure I was straight all on time. So how I grew up with the AZs, with A, was always be loyal, make sure that you pay your people on time, because that's what keeps your name good and that's what keep you straight as far as having work out here in the streets. So after that, we started getting tighter. We started hanging out, going to clubs everywhere. He started calling. He bought like 2 4-wheelers and gave me one of them. Called me 8, 9 in the morning. Come downstairs, man. It's time to ride. We riding the 4-wheelers everywhere, all through Harlem. So, you know, then after that, I'm chilling in the store one day in Mecca Audio. And he said, yo, son, I just bought a club. I was like, what? He said, nah, I just bought a club.
Knuckle did what?
Yeah. He was like, yo, I just bought a club. I'm taking everybody to see it. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, I can't wait. Took us up to see the club. He talking to the guy he buying it from, and we looking around like, wow, this is crazy. Mm-hmm. So, long story short, he said, yeah, we about to do the biggest party in Harlem. Harlem ain't never seen what's about to happen. He was like, yo, we going to DC. Everybody get their size. He bought about 20 brand new linen suits. All of us had to get sized up for the suits. After we get sized up for the suits, we wait for our suits to come. Hey, but when the suits come, that was like a Christmas day. Everybody trying their joints on, everybody looking fly. He said, but guess what, though? I said, what? He said, yo, I got Luke Skywalker coming through, man. We're going to introduce Miami to New York and New York to Miami. And when they came, that was a Pop That Coochie night to remember, man. We never looked back after that. We used to have Leann from SWV ride with us all the time. She used to tell us, Boosie, I love you, nigga. I said, why you love him so much? She said, Cause he's crazy. He drives so fast. That was our sis. We used to go pick up, my sis anyway, but we used to go pick up. Yeah, Leann, come on, let's go. Go grab her.
Over there on Andrews in the Bronx.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Leann come out, we ride. This before SWV, but she always tell me she was in a group. She about to do some big things and all that.
Yeah, she from the hood. She from up there in the Bronx where I grew up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what we used to
Andrews.
pick up
Yeah, I know
from
what you used to
like
do.
all the time, man. So it was like, then after that, man, once we opened the first night up, man, all kind of celebrities start coming through. You got to remind them about all them.
Man, listen, we had Andre Harrell up in there. You know what I mean? We had Jodeci up in there.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Jodeci. Those was regular staples in the joint.
Yeah.
We had Kid Capri up in there. We had Tupac up in there. Russell Simmons came up in there. Brand
Pac in
Nubian
there.
came up in there. Grand Poobah came up in there. Dr. Dre came up in there. Snoop came up in there. Yo-Yo came up in there. You know what I mean? I could go on all night, man. But, you know, Father MC, you know what I mean?
Biz Markie was
Lord
the
Finesse,
DJ.
Biz Markie was the DJ. Funk Master Flex, you know what I mean? I mean, if you was anybody, you was up in Club 2000. Nas,
Facts.
you know what I mean?
That's facts.
I mean, come on, man.
Onyx.
Onyx, you know what I mean? Remember we had the big fight with Onyx?
Yeah.
We got to tell about that on the next one. But, you know,
Yeah, we
Onyx
can tell
official,
They official though.
You
They
know?
Honest official.
you know?
Rakim, he came up in there.
You know, but you know, let's not
and,
forget Mob Style.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Mob Style,
Can't
Gangsta
forget-
Lou.
can't forget
and for those of y'all to understand, you know, Gangsta Lou, that's my brother. That's family. You know what I'm saying? Gangsta Lou always tried to keep me, you know, calm and, you know what I mean, tell me to chill out. Good brother to the heart, loyal brother. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Gangsta Lou, whatever he got going on. Follow him at No Friends. You know what I mean? That's his Instagram and his record label, you know, Talk It Trigger. You know what I mean? But I mean, you know, that's where we all got our musical upbringing from, man. You know, cause that's where Mob Style, that was the first stage Mob Style performed on. And we also got Daz Effects. That was the first stage they performed on. You understand? I got pictures with Tupac in the club. I got pictures and live videos. So whoever watching this trying to do the movie and documentary, get with me. The joint was bananas. Only reason y'all don't know who I am is because I had Life Plus 20 and I wasn't going to tell on nobody. So I had to lay low and keep it quiet because if the courts really knew who I was, you know what I mean? They would have never let me out. And like I said earlier, bad boys move in silence. That's where we get that from. You understand? My own people around me didn't know what I was doing except for the ones that did it with me. It was a need to know basis.
Well, and it's like when A&M went quiet, what a lot of people don't know was Unique was one of the first after the Asian output that was doing it on that level, probably on a little more extensive level than they was.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
it
saying? And he didn't get his credit because he got snatched up by the feds, you know, at one point in time. And when we was running hard, I lost contact with him because I caught a bid and he was coming to get me out on $1 million bail. So I'm sitting there waiting for him to come and get me out on $1 million. My mom's waiting for him to call. He ain't called. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? Why he ain't called? She's like, he ain't called back. But one of my friends got caught where I was at. I was in Salisbury, Maryland, got caught up on Route 13. I'm actually doing a movie on that. But he said, yo, man, he came through. I seen him in my pod. He was like, yo, man, it's crazy what happened to your bro Unique. I said, what happened to him? He said, yo, man, the feds jumped out on him crazy. Lady Miss Cologne or something.
Big shout out to Miss Cologne. That took me down.
Yeah.
Cologne the car taker.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Hey,
yeah.
I'm gonna let you finish it. I'm gonna tell them about
Cologne
Cologne.
to take you
Yeah.
out your car in the middle. I was just telling somebody about this a couple weeks ago. I was like, yeah, it was a Fed sister that used to come through and pull cats out of their cars
Yeah,
on the street.
like she'll do.
Say, yeah, tell your grandmother to come get this $75,000 car that she bought and
Right.
bring her paperwork with us to show us how it is she was able to afford this car and leave you standing in the street
Yep.
So
and
I'm,
drive off with your car.
and I'm sitting in there, I'm like, wow, no wonder, because I knew my boy wouldn't leave me stranded. And he said he's
It was
going to
only a
do it.
meal. I bailed my brother out for a meal.
Exactly.
Come on.
And not only that, one thing about my bro, if he say he gonna do something, he gonna do it. If he ain't, he'll tell you straight up, nah, I can't do that. One thing he always did was say, I don't mess with nobody. I ain't doing no business with nobody that got a girl, because niggas fall in love and they want to tell everything. One thing he did though, I had a girl at the time and he still rocked with me, but one thing, I don't know what it was, but our bond, all the way to this day, the man ain't never, ever switched up on me. So I'm saying that to say all the things that he's saying to these cats out here, to the young youth and all that ain't never been in jail, trust me, you don't want to go there. So all the stuff that he's saying is positive. We've been holding each other down since he came home. That's why I did take him to Queens Flip, because I wanted his message. And definitely why he was locked up. That's where you needed me the most. I gotta be there. You know what I'm saying? And that's when it really count, when you are there for your friends when they need you the most. Because a lot of people, their friends turn their back on them. I've been in that position. But that's why we pushing this, don't y'all leave the game alone, man. Leave it alone. So I like what he doing with the prison stories. That's a great look for the Unique Mecca audio. And as well as I'm doing Street Knowledge podcast, so everybody can go and check that one out. We're gonna make sure we keep beating it in the youth's heads. Like, the streets is not it. The snitch game is so messed up that it's like we were saying earlier, it's the thing to do now. It's the end thing.
You look like the sucker not doing it.
Yeah, right. You look like a sucker.
They hate me because I didn't tell.
Right, that's crazy.
They hate me because I didn't tell. Right. I never phantomed that I'll come home to a world where I'm shunned because I stood up like a man and held my responsibility, and I ain't bringing none of my comrades. I could have brought him in with me. He could have been my neighbor in the cell for life and have to fight his own life.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
And me too. And when I caught my time, everybody was telling in that jail down there in Salisbury, Maryland. They was just sitting, waiting across the state line before you crossed into Virginia, and they was snatching all New York cats. They was just snatching them. The dude Blue who had the jewelry store on 125.
Yeah, Blue. His sister, shout out to Muhammad and Blue.
They caught his sister down there with 15 birds in a stash joint, her with a dude. They just was catching mad people, and
I knew my joint. I knew somebody at the Queens got caught with 15 joints of mine, 13 on the highway.
She got caught with 15 inside of a Maxima. And I knew plenty of people I could have told on. But me, I don't do that, man. Me and my co-defendants took out of the trial. Blue trial, was facing 60. Got my time, I came home. But when I came home, I was an honorable man to the hood. But we saying, don't do what we did. Don't try to go and be an honorable man. Just leave it alone. Especially if you're not.
Don't test your steel.
Yeah, don't do it. Cause it's not really worth it. So, I'm glad my brother's home now. We about to do more positive things like college speakings and all that stuff. So